Commissioner Brett Yormark is in Kansas City. That's where the men's tournament is about to tip off, as we mentioned tonight. Blake Kirchhoff covers the Big 12 in Kansas. Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark. Now, none of this is breaking news, but this is a quote from him last night, and he will meet with the media for a short media session today at 4:30. If expansion presents itself, this is what he's been saying now for a long time. If it's the right opportunity, if it's additive and creates value, we're going to pursue it. The future is really bright. Now, that's just a very generic, nothing breaking there, but kind of just, again, validating what he said before, or just a punctuation on what he said before. He will meet with the media today at around 4:30, and we'll see, if anything, what comes out of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect anything besides similar comments to that to come out of that. He's basically made the same comments over and over again. Yes, we're open for business, and no, I'm not giving you any details or naming names, and you can guess or you can read it, eventually through it, a report that, States Gonzaga is somebody that they're looking at, something along those lines. But he's, unless he's completely changed course, is not going to be up there here in an hour or so talking about, like, yeah, we're going to go poach the pack and doing all of that. And so I like that he's just, stirring the drink a little bit more and not saying anything that's, just a hard, line in the sand or anything along those lines. There's not a timetable. There's not anything all that specific. So I think he probably enjoys the amount of attention that realignment talk, whether it's leading to anything or not. It has, at least shined a spotlight on the conference, and, the way that you perceive it from whatever chair you're sitting in, you may look at the Big 12 in a little bit of a different light. You may look at them as a little bit stronger than they were. You may look at them as a little bit stronger than some others that maybe you didn't consider them stronger than previously. Maybe you look at them as that top non-Super 2 conference. Whatever you look at it, it's a changing landscape. He seems to have a good hand on the wheel and some fresh ideas in mind, and hopefully some of those hit. And it seems like he's already kind of freshened up the decorations around the conference, and everybody seems to have a pretty good feeling about the direction it's headed. Whatever direction that may be is a total mystery, as we all just speculate and wonder when the next shoe drops. But I think that the Big 12, at least up to this point and on paper, really did themselves a great service when they pivoted to Brett Yormark following Bob Bowlesby. I think he's handled it well. I kind of like that he's the agitator, even if it's unintentional, although I think he's smart enough to know that it's intentional at times, rather than always having to be on the defensive, as the conference always seemed to be.
Yep.
He's not like the strong hand, but he's not just getting trifled with either. I'm curious to hear if he's got anything new to say. But, yeah, that quote's basically the same thing that he said, last summer, and anytime expansion's been brought up is everything's on the table and we're interested, and if it makes sense, we'll do it. But it's got to make sense. And, what makes sense right now, I guess Gonzaga to a certain point makes some sense. But, outside of that, I know there's all that Pac-12 talk and whatnot, but that doesn't seem like it's imminent by any means.
Yeah, and Mac Rose will join us at 4:30. That's the time Yormark will be in front of the media, and I'm sure Mac and Yormark and others, Kirby Hocutt and Gene Taylor and Jamie Colbert and all the others are the ones who have been perhaps they're having some sort of impromptu and or meetings, and we'll ask Mac about that specifically when we get him today at 4:30. John Gassaway of